James, the channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. Look, we are heading into a weekend where club football finally returns. Real football back on the agenda at Ibrox as Rangers take on Dundee at Dens Park. An away tie, always tough, guys, especially with our away form this season. However, Barry Ferguson has... look, I'll be honest, I'm going to level with you. Barry Ferguson, when he speaks to the media, it's actually interesting. It's actually genuinely a good watch. It's not the pathetic drivel of Philippe Clement. It's not the boring just crap that Beale used to come out with. It's genuinely good value. And the one thing that always comes across when Barry speaks to the media is the passion, the desire, the heart that he has for this club. That this club, you can tell this club means absolutely everything to this man. To this man, this club is the be all and end all. I mean, I think, as Walter Smith said, to a lot of people, it's more than just a football club. It's a way of life to many people. And I think to Barry Ferguson, you can definitely say that it is a way of life to him. He certainly is someone who lives, eats, breathes, sleeps Rangers FC. It is everything to this man. Some interesting things that came out of yesterday's press conference, and I think one of the things that I think that is kind of coming through loud and clear from these pressers is that it's time that he's putting across to the players that the time to be nice, the time to be nice Rangers, to be friendly Rangers, to all that is over. It's time to get back to the everyone hates us, we don't care era. If you go back to when Souness was the manager, and that's when I obviously started following Rangers, Graham Souness was very much that everyone hates us, we don't care. You know what? We're not in this game to be liked. We're in this game to win trophies. And you know what? Most teams that go on and are successful, most teams that go on and win trophies, they aren't liked. They're hated. They're absolutely hated. Of course they are. People don't like, teams that are phenomenally successful. And, Barry's getting that across to the press, and he's getting that across, obviously, to the players as well. Now, one of the things, obviously, that he said yesterday that really kind of put it across to me that... that this is the case at Rangers now was this. This is what he said. He said, "My players need to continue to show up and put on a good performance. It isn't always about playing nice, pretty football, and the players are starting to learn that. Sometimes you need to dig deep to get results. I think we've been too nice, and you can't be like this when you step out on that park. Every single team wants to beat you, and you need to step up to that. My players are starting to show the standard that is expected, and we are going in the right direction." Now, that for me says everything. At the end of the day, he's right. Rangers players are not, here to be liked. They're not here to, play pretty, passy football. They're not here to, kind of be that team that everyone likes to play against. And I think the problem was, previous to Barry Ferguson coming in, under Philippe Clement and under Michael Beale, we become a team that everyone actually looked forward to playing again because, do you know what? There's no threat there. There's no danger there. There's just nothing there. And now, under this man, there is a bit of grit. There is a bit of nastiness. There is a bit of, we staunch bastard about some of these players. And they're getting stuck in. They're fighting. Nico Raskin is the archetypal little bulldog in midfield. Connor Barron, when he's come in, has done the same. Vastav Cherny with the water spraying into it. You've seen the whole thing. These guys are learning very quickly that this football club is not always about doing the nice things. It's about doing the stuff in the trenches that gets you down, gets you dirty, and upsets people. And Ferguson's right. He's right. He's said, in this thing, we've been too nice. Yes, I think they have been too nice. Rangers have for a long time been way too easy to play against. You can only go back to some of these games that we've lost this season where Clement was the manager, and last season as well, and see how easy it's been for teams just to play through us, to play round us, to, just to take us on, and they'll get stuck in, they'll fight, they'll battle, and we'll just roll around and cry. Whereas like now, I think there's much more of a, you kick us, we'll kick you. You push us, we'll push you. You want to fight? We'll fight you. And there's not more of that, that iron streak. And I think that's obviously something that Barry had during his playing days. And it's certainly something that Barry is putting across to the players. And it's nice to see that finally there is a iron staunch kind of fist to this team again now. And look, I'm not going to say that it's all down to Barry. Of course I'm not. he is playing a massive part, but you've also got to give massive credit to Neil McCann, to Billy Dodds, to Issam Charai, to Alan McGregor as well for the work that they're doing. And I think, Neil McCann and Issam Charai are kind of the guys who are doing all the tactical stuff, the coachy stuff. Barry Ferguson is very much kind of that role model at the top. He's the cheerleader. He's the guy who puts the inspiration into them. He's the guy that really pushes the players up. Now, I'm not saying that Ferguson doesn't do any coaching, because I'm sure he does. And I'm sure, obviously, we've seen with the improvement in the midfielders, the Raskins, the Barons, the Dios of this world, they've obviously got that from learning from a great player like Barry Ferguson. But, this is a man who is making a difference at the highest level. He's making a difference with the team. And you are starting to see something you never saw in the entire time that Philippe Clement was manager. Progress. And look, we could have kind of, I think, tolerated Clement and the results and the way he was playing if we'd seen progress. So I honestly believe that the fact that now we are seeing progress, we are seeing forward movement, we are seeing a style, a shape, and a work ethic, a grit, it's really encouraging. And if this had been here all season, how different this season very much could have been. And I think it's a learning curve for the players, and it's a learning curve for the club as well. And hopefully, the owners and new owners, are looking at this and are impressed by what they're seeing. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that he should get the job. That's for someone far more intelligent and far more capable than me to decide. But, he's not doing himself any disservice in what he's doing. It's fantastic. It is really, really positive. Now, there was other remarks, obviously, that Barry made at the press. He spoke about Nico Raskin. He spoke in glowing terms about Nico. He said Nico has the potential to play at the highest level. His best years are still in front of him. He's been top class for me, but he needs to make sure he continues that and continues to produce performances. Very Barry. You're doing well, son, but you've got to keep it going. There was a report this morning, actually, in the media that Leeds United are interested in signing Nico Raskin if they're promoted to the Premier League. That could provide a very interesting scenario if, obviously, as seems likely, the 49ers Enterprises guys take over the club. They own Leeds as well. Transferring a player from Rangers to Leeds within our group, how's that going to go down with the fans? I feel it wouldn't go down too well, to be honest with you. Look, Fergie spoke as well yesterday about his focus going forward. There's always going to be this speculation around what is, does he want the job? Is he going to get the job? Could he be the next manager of Rangers, etc., etc. And he spoke quite eloquently, and he spoke really well about this yesterday. He said, my focus is on winning games of football just now, and I need to make sure that I have a team that will go out on the pitch and take home 3 points. I have been brought in to try and get results, and that is my aim over the next couple of months consistently. There are high standards now, and anything below this won't be part of the team. I need to see a different side of the team, and they're starting to do that. Now, there's a couple of things to pull out of that. I think, he is showing that he is solely focused on the job in hand. He knows that his job is to get this team through to the end of the season, to win as many games as possible. And I think he knows at the back of his mind as well that if he really truly does want the job on a permanent basis, the best way to show that is by winning football games. Win football games, progress in the Europa League, you're going to obviously put yourself up there in consideration for the job. And it's interesting as well how he says that there are now high standards and anything below that is no longer accepted at this football club, which kind of alludes to me that, previously, were the standards as high? Were the expectations as high? Or was Philippe Clement accepting second best? Or were the players putting in second best? That's a really interesting point for me. And I think, under Barry, there's no chance that the players are going to slack off. There's no chance that the players are going to have the opportunity to not give of their best, because I'll tell you something, this guy will absolutely rip you to pieces, I reckon, if you don't put all in for this football club. So, look, fascinating stuff, guys. We're going to the weekend, 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. Let's hope that obviously we can go out there, put on a bit of a performance, bring home the 3 points. And if we don't put on a performance, let's just hope we go out there, put on the grit and determination, put on the battle, get those 3 points. Yes, I know the league is done. I know the league's over. I know we can't win the league, but it's about maintaining consistency, about setting a marker, about showing that you're ready for next season. And for some of these players, it's about showing that they're capable of playing for this football club, that they want to stay at this football club. Some of these players need to realise that they will never get the opportunity to play for a club as big as this. They can go down and they can play in the English Championship. They can go down and play in the lower reaches of the Premier League. Fine. Go do it. Go play for Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford. Go play for, I don't know, Sunderland and shitty little clubs like that. Because I'll tell you something. None of those clubs are anywhere near the size of this club. None of those clubs have the status in Europe that Rangers has. And, you can talk about going to play in the Premier League. You can talk about going to play for, some club, like I said, like Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, Sunderland, and no disrespect to them, but, they are not even half the size of this football club. They are not on the same level as this football club. And this is a great opportunity for any player to be a football club as big as Rangers, where you can play regular European football, where you can win league titles. This is the place they've to be, and they need to start to realise that. And I hope over the next few weeks, months, they will start to show that and obviously play for Barry. Guys, look, I'm really impressed with what he's doing so far. He's doing a great job. Great words yesterday. I said it's finally nice to watch a presser where you actually want to watch it, not turn off halfway through because you're in danger of falling asleep through boredom. Let me know your thoughts on what Barry's got to say and how you feel the team has changed over the last few months. Guys, thank you for watching. As always, on the way out, please like, comment and share. And obviously, please subscribe to the channel to help us keep growing. And always remember, we are the people.